Tonight on CTV, we give you an update on the CSU PD crime report.
Then, City Council is debating their stance on asylum seekers.
Plus, a CSU professor completes a study on the culture of marijuana. Good evening, Rams. I'm Jake Oskverick.
And I'm Delaney Allen. Rec Center employee received an email from the Rec Center that said a racist word was discovered written on a bathroom wall. The N-word was written in a substance that appeared to look like blood. However, the university hasn't confirmed what was used to write the word.
According to the email, the Rec Center reported the discovery to the university police and has submitted a bias incident report. We will keep you updated about this incident.
CSU Police Department released their annual crime report for 2018. The report found that for the most part, crime reports went down from 2017. The area where crime reports stayed the same were hate crimes, with 2 being reported in 2017 and in 2018. Domestic violence cases went down from 2017 to 2018, with dating violence cases saw a big decrease from 21 to 13. Reports of rape, burglary, and aggravated assault all went down from 2017. For more information on the crime statistics, you can visit safety.colostate.edu.
Fort Collins police responded to a motorcycle crash Saturday night that left 1 person injured. The crash took place on Highway 392 near I-25 around 10:10 in the evening. 36-year-old Ricky Buckingham Jr. was heading west on Highway 392 when he turned and struck the driver of the motorcycle. The person driving the motorcycle, 55-year-old Douglas Gore, was transported to Medical Center of the Rockies with moderate injuries. The intersection was closed for about 3 hours Saturday as police investigated, but they believed that alcohol or drugs were not a factor. If you have any information about the crash, you are asked to call Fort Collins Police at 970-416-2224.
Fort Collins City Council is meeting tonight to discuss a resolution regarding the conditions at the southern border. According to the resolution, the City Council was asked by Fort Collins residents to take a stance on the issue taking place at the southern border. The resolution would acknowledge the impact that the situation at the southern border is having on immigrant communities in Fort Collins and across the state. The resolution also calls on the Trump administration to stop inhumane treatment of people at the border, as well as creating a sustainable path for immigration. For more information on the City Council agenda, you can visit fcgov.com.
Chancellor Tony Frank updated the CSU system on the Board of Governors' position on Proposition CC. Frank said that the move was unusual for the Board of Governors because they don't take political stances on issues. Prop CC, if passed, would give more funding to higher education without raising taxes. The proposition is up for a vote on the November ballot.
CSU certainly has a culture surrounding the use of marijuana. A CSU professor has recently received funding to launch a long-term study on marijuana use and effects among college students.
An HDFS professor at CSU has just received funding for a study on excessive marijuana use among college students.
We are starting a new study to test whether a text-based counseling intervention can be effective for reducing cannabis use for student age individuals who have cannabis use disorder.
Cannabis use disorder, or problematic marijuana use, is categorized as an excessive dependence on marijuana. The National Institute on Drug Abuse estimates that as many as 30% of people who use marijuana may have some degree of cannabis use disorder.
It's a big study. 500 students here, 500 students at Tennessee. So it's going to be the biggest study of this kind of intervention ever done in the United States. So we're excited about that.
Coatsworth and his colleagues are running the study at 2 separate locations, one at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and one right here at CSU. The researchers will be able to see if intervention works differently based on statewide cannabis legality.
We think that this text-based counseling is in line with students' lifestyles, and in particular students who might not want to go to that kind of counseling, but are willing to try this kind of treatment. we want to compare it to the regular kinds of counseling, and we want to see whether it's more cost effective. The health network here on campus has very good resources and good counseling resources, and then the psychological clinic also has resources to help students who might feel like they want to reduce some of their use, are feeling like their patterns of use are causing problems, maybe with their schoolwork, maybe with their relationships, and if they want to access some of those. We will be recruiting participants who might like to help us learn a little bit more about the culture of cannabis soon in the later fall, early winter. So we'll be advertising through a variety of means, including some of the digital mechanisms on campus and radio and other apps.
Any student looking for more information on participating in the study is encouraged to contact Professor Doug Coatsworth at doug.coatsworth@colostate.edu.
A report that was released last month found that 50% of students voted in the 2018 election, which is up from 38% of CSU students who voted in the 2014 election. CSU has 11% more participation in elections compared to other schools across the country, which sit at a 38% participation rate in elections. The report found that most students voted by mail, in ballots totaling 76%, which went up nearly 40% from 2014. The report uniquely found that more graduate students voted than undergraduates.
As population continues to grow along the Front Range and in Fort Collins, so does the need to transport large amounts of people moving here who need to commute for work. This past Friday, the Colorado Rail Passenger Association discussed the possibility of having a passenger rail line connecting Fort Collins to Pueblo and the cities in between, including Denver and Colorado Springs. The mayor of Fort Collins, Wade Troxtel, said Fort Collins needs to provide viable alternatives for people wanting safe and frequent transportation services, and they need to work regionally to fulfill larger city plans.
Poudre Fire Authority took part in a drill at the Fort Collins Loveland Airport today. The drill is meant to portray a plane crash that resulted in a fire. According to the Colorado Poudre Fire Authority, who would work along with Loveland Fire Department and the Windsor-Severance Fire District in the drill. The goal of the drill was to see how well the Loveland Fire Department worked alongside the other fire districts in the region. CSU celebrates a huge milestone anniversary this year, and homecoming is in full force. Janae, what's going on this weekend?
There's plenty going on this week, Jake. As you mentioned, it is CSU's 150th birthday. So with that, there's plenty of events that should be happening. So starting the week, we have Friday. We have the homecoming parade starting at 4:30 p.m. And following that, we have lighting of the lights and lighting of the A, and we have the bonfire at the LSC starting at 6:30. And if you all cannot make that, we have Saturday morning the homecoming 5K race, annual tradition, starting at 7:30 to 9 a.m. And if you can't make that, there's the tailgate going on that evening and the football game that night. So you really have no reason not to miss these opportunities. Are you guys attending anything?
Absolutely. I think we're going to have a busy weekend.
I'll look forward to it if I'm not absolutely swamped by homework, but we'll see.
I definitely understand that, as I will be attending pretty much everything this weekend except for Saturday morning because I'm not a morning person. But one thing's for sure is I hope the weather holds out on us and we have a good temperature going on Friday, Saturday, and Ren Wadsworth has everything we need with weather after the break.